Hello, and welcome to Thoughts Brewed. My name is Fadia.
And I am Megha. Welcome to your cozy nook on the internet.
Yay! You guys, we know we have been MIA for a while. Yeah, for a little while. A long while. But we're back now, and today we're discussing something so exciting. We're so excited about this episode.
So close to our hearts.
I know.
Us. It's basically us.
It's a conversation we have often, and it's basically going to be just a dive into the 90s and nostalgia, our childhoods. Megha, we're both 90s babies, aren't we? Yes, we are both. We were born in the 90s. That's our entire childhood, early 2000s as well. So what we thought we would do today is we want to keep it super light and just go through a list of things that we miss about our childhood.
Or that we loved and it made sense then, but it doesn't make sense now.
Kids now would not know what we are talking about if we were to ever talk about these things.
I know. I just recently met my nephew who is having such a different childhood than what I would have had.
Yeah.
And then what I had. And then...
In what way though?
Everything, like the exposure to the television, to their phones, and then they know so much. It's kind of not even innocent anymore. They lack innocence. They're just talking about shows like Squid Games or...
Are they really? How old is he?
He's 7.
Oh my god, but you're right. It's just the exposure to the world and just knowing what's going on in the world. They're so much more woke and aware, which we were not.
Yeah, but it's also too much.
It is a bit much.
For the kids.
And I think that's a big conversation, isn't it? That people are having around banning social media or banning the internet for kids.
Sorry. We got
serious
in 5 seconds.
It took us 5 seconds to get serious, you guys. This is a thing we had decided. We were we're not going to get serious. Let's keep it super light. And then we're these laws that need to be made to protect children.
And Australia has made one already about banning social media.
Is it already passed? That's a law already?
Yep. They can't. 16 under people cannot use. And so many mothers that I know are so happy, and they should be.
I can imagine, because did you watch this show called Adolescence?
I'm waiting for my internet to come back on.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah,
your internet?
My broadband is suffering.
Oh, okay. So you're just waiting.
But it's on my watch list, and also I just finished Severance.
Oh, I need to start properly watching Severance again, because season 2, I know you told me to watch it, and I have not. But I want to get
you said you couldn't, you want to get back to it, but it's become a mainstream show now.
Yeah, I think Severance. Everyone. Megha was the first to watch it, but it wasn't loved by everyone, you guys.
Hey, I love it.
You told me about it, and I think I watched season 1 because of you. And season 1 was so good. And I think season 2 was good also, really right?
As well. I think it needs just some patience in between.
You do. I think my other thing is season 1 was so long ago that I've forgotten what had happened. So I'm a bit what am I even watching? Yeah, I think I need to either watch a summary, a good summary of season 1, and then get into season 2,
Yeah.
So I'll do it. But should we get back to the topic? Because I can see Megha look at me going you're on a tangent. Stop it.
When I look at you, I look at myself as well, because I am what
we are one.
Yeah. we both cause what we cause.
Yeah.
So I'm oh my god, look at us just shifting, bouncing topics.
Yeah.
This is us usually when we're talking, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. But Megha, this thing, not to get all serious, but just the way kids are now versus the way we were. I see in schools in Australia, I think you have to have an iPad as a kid now. And even back home, I think even in Pakistan or India, or across the world, kids now use iPads as a tool to study, which was never a thing for us. It was all books and notebooks and just that.
For sure. And it was also to do with COVID a lot, because when I was looking at my nephew's mobile, he has a mobile phone. He has Zoom or meetings on his phone, and I was why do you have that?
Yeah.
And then he's this is how I'd studied. And I was oh, of course, yeah.
It makes sense because they weren't going to school.
And that's one of the reasons why they're hooked onto the devices so early.
Yeah, that's so true. That brings us to our first thing, you guys. The first kind of throwback, computer rooms.
Oh, yeah.
In our schools.
That was such a thing.
For those of you, if there's any Gen Zs listening, or Gen Zs or younger,
you won't get it.
You might not get it. But when we were growing up, when we were in junior school, we didn't have phones. Cell phones were not a thing. Even my dad got a cell phone And by the way, there was a point when cell phones started becoming mainstream, and then only one member of your family would have it, and that would often be the dad or your mom, but it was my dad.
My
It was
dad
your
as well,
dad.
yeah.
And it was a Nokia phone often.
Oh, he got a Motorola.
Oh my gosh, he was cool. My dad got a Nokia that you could literally, it was a brick. you know?
Yeah, Motorola was also, it was heavy. It almost felt like a part of the landline, but it was a mobile
You
phone.
could carry it around.
Yeah. And everything that went wrong with it, I was responsible for it because I would be playing with it more than anybody else. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Is that how, is that your, like, the first step you took towards the career you're in now?
I think
It's
so.
so
I was so much
technical.
into gadgets all the time.
Yeah.
And then everybody would come to me if they were feeling that there were some problems.
Yeah.
And also they would come to me and ask me questions because they think I messed up with it.
I love
anyway.
that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Mm.
But there's, just computer rooms. It's so funny to me, like, as a concept now.
Yeah.
Let me, paint the picture for anyone that's watching that doesn't really understand what a computer room was. We would have our classrooms where we would study using books and notebooks and no devices whatsoever. Even the teacher wouldn't have a phone or anything. And then we'd have a computer class, and you can tell me, Mika, what it was called. Maybe it was different for you, but we'd have a computer class where we would then form a line. You always had to be in a line. I wonder if they do that in schools now. But you form a line and then you go to the computer room, and there was a specific computer teacher who was educated in using computers.
Yeah.
And then you sat in front of a computer, and sometimes there weren't enough computers. So then multiple people or two people would be sitting in front of one, just learning how to type.
Oh, yeah. For, I think, my class, it would always be two people in front of one computer.
One computer? Yeah.
Mm.
And then you just learn. And oftentimes it was literally playing around with paint.
Yeah. Or command.
Oh, yeah, come on.
That was a bit technical thing.
Yeah.
But it was not the fun part. The fun part was paint.
The fun part was definitely paint.
Mm.
But also we weren't connected to the internet.
No.
It was
Not in
just that.
school.
And then when we got a bit older, I remember if we were traveling or something, then at hotels or, in different places, they were internet cafes.
Oh, yeah, cyber cafes.
Yeah, cyber cafes where you would go and you could play games because we didn't have devices, you guys. It wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And now we just all have
I remember my parents were like so cool. They enrolled us into a cyber cafe class. Like we would go during our school holidays, we were going to this, it was quite far from our house. We'd be like cycling around or something, or dad used to drop us off. And we'd sit there for an hour or two, my brother and I, and we'd just use the internet.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so good. That was our exposure to the internet, you guys. And also, everything wasn't available on the internet, and only the websites you knew were the ones What websites were you on? Barbie.com? Were you on there at all?
I was.
Polly Pocket?
Polly Pocket, I don't know. I've heard.
My Scene.
Yes. Something with 5.
Oh.
I didn't remember. It had a 5 icon. And then,
really?
But then the social media came, then there's Orkut and Facebook.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about earlier things, it was just some random website. And also it was they were called, there weren't any blogs, I don't know, they were forums. So I used to be a big fan of Atif Aslam, as you're aware.
Oh yeah, Megha is the biggest fan. All of you Pakistanis, Megha's a bigger fan of Atif Aslam than all of us combined.
So there used to be a forum called atifaslamforum.com.
Are you kidding me?
And I used to be a very active participant on that.
Really?
Because there were only that many internet users at that time.
Oh yeah.
And I used to be the biggest Indian fan for sure.
Yeah.
And I used to just keep play. It was a different thing. I can't explain how it was It was one message and this bigger box coming from it was threads. It was threads. They weren't chats or messages.
That's so funny.
It was so random. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
By the way, speaking of which, this is a bit of a tangent, but have you seen Atif Aslam is in his Gen Z era posting reels?
They're really funny. I've enjoyed a couple.
I wonder who his Gen Z social media
manager is right now and is making him do that. And I think he's given up already.
Yeah. Did he really?
He did 4 or 5. And then
it takes a lot, man, to get reels consistently up. We know that.
We know that.
Oh
so what did you do on the internet, other than Barbie.com?
Yeah, I feel when I was a lot younger, it was Barbie.com and My Scene, and then just these games. And then when I was a little bit older, MSN Messenger.
Mm.
And after school, we'd all log into MSN
Yeah.
Messenger and then see who was online and then nudge each other.
yeah. I think we used to have Yahoo chat rooms or something.
Oh.
We didn't really have
See, I wasn't a
MSN.
part of Orkut, which you were, weren't you?
Mm.
Yeah.
I was part of Orkut, yeah.
That's super
And
cool.
all the Americans were using American Online, so I think that was
Oh.
AOL.
Oh,
Mm.
I actually never knew about
Different. Yeah. But similar thing, you'd just see if they're online, nudge them, talk to
Yeah.
your friends.
that. I remember when Facebook became big, and at that point we had dial-up internet.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd have to like dial it, and then it's
and it made a sound when you knew it was going to connect.
It was getting connected, and
Yeah.
you're like, yes, I am
and
there.
it made a different sound when it didn't.
Yes.
You're like, oh, that's not the pretty sound.
But then literally after it connected, one page would load.
Mm.
And sometimes it got disconnected and then the page just wouldn't load. Facebook was, or even like clicking into a notification. How cool was it when you got a notification?
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what that is.
But slow internet, man.
Oh my
Can
god,
you
it was the
imagine?
slowest.
Can people bear slow internet these days?
No, I feel like we would just not be able to survive. I don't know what we would do.
Yeah.
I could not even go
totally.
anywhere. Like,
Shit.
damn, we're so dependent on it now.
And even then,
Extremely
like, I used to be like really sad and keep watching my like lights go on and off if they're, because it used to be like so like a thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But still, I could just go outside and touch grass if there was,
Absolutely.
because right now there's nothing else to do. But at that time, you still had many things to do, right?
Absolutely. Tell me this. When we were growing up, it was a big part of our evening was just going out and playing with our friends.
Always.
Right?
Yeah, there'll be like a certain time, like 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. or something, and you'll
Exactly.
hear a kid call your name.
Literally.
It was a thing.
And all the kids gathered. We played dodge the ball or
Yeah.
cycling.
Or doctor, help us, which she doesn't
Oh
know.
my god, yeah. But was that just like a doctor name?
No, so you're like a group of 6-7 people and you tangle yourself.
Really?
Yeah. Using your hands and your legs, you just
Yeah.
get tangled.
Yeah.
And then you call doctor, help. And there's one person who's doctor, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they come and like try and
Untangle
untangle you. But if they break you, then you have to run and then they have to catch.
Oh, I've seen this.
Fun game.
Like an adult version of this game, I think, and there's like dots. There's like colored dots on a like sheet. I'll show you later. I think it's a
is that
similar
the-
concept.
Oh, yeah.
But that's so
Similar,
fun.
like you have to put, like they say, where to put your hand
Yeah.
and legs.
Did you play Baraf Pani?
Yes.
Oh my god,
It
Baraf
used
Pani
to
was
so
the
much
best.
fun.
So fun. Kings? Was it Kings? Where you like you're in a circle and then you kind of step on each other's feet. Is it Kings? What is it? We've played it even as adults, I feel. I'll ask them more. Our memory is so weak.
Yeah, we had so many games and we had so much. We've lived so much after that.
We have lived a lot. We are almost 30, okay?
And we've played so much carom board.
Carom board.
That
Carom
used to
was
be
the best
fun.
game ever.
And like the
But
things
Megha,
in
I
it.
realized, yeah, and just how the powder
And the powder!
Yeah, it's so good.
And going
But
for the
also,
queen.
I've realized that carom it's a very subcontinent thing.
It is, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought the whole world would have played it, but apparently
Yeah.
not. If you played carom, please let us know because we loved it.
Mm.
My nana would have a carom board at her house, so it was a thing we did whenever we would go to her house. Carom,
Yeah.
such a good time.
Yeah, were like power cuts a thing in Pakistan? Because
Mhm.
there was such a thing in India, especially in Punjab where I lived.
Yeah.
And then that would mean community time.
Absolutely, dude. As soon as the power went off, yeah, we had load shedding.
Yeah.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, I think so.
We called it load shedding. When there's a certain time when the power would go off and everyone knew.
Planned outage.
Or even planned outage. Or even if it wasn't planned, as soon as the power went out, everyone just got out of the house
Yeah.
and just walked on the street.
Yeah.
And the kids were all out. It was such a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Or just like because we were living in a joint family and we had like our own space, like front yard, backyard sort of situation.
Yeah.
So we'd all just come out from our rooms and like literally play dumb charades or antakshari.
Oh my god, Antakshari is
And
so
I used
good.
to be like the manager.
Yeah.
Like I would manage everybody. That what game are we playing? I would tell
Yeah.
like stupid jokes. So I used to really like remember that time. Like it used to be my I can be the entertainment now for everybody, and everybody's going to listen to me.
It was so fun though. Nothing like can beat that. Isn't it funny how community is such a beautiful thing? take, power outage, not a good thing, but then as long as there's community, you'll make something good out of even that.
Yeah.
And that's been such a common theme of I feel like all of our childhoods.
Yeah, and the weathers used to be so tolerable. Like,
Yeah.
at that time, I don't remember complaining about the heat as much.
Yeah.
Like, it was either well planned, it would happen only in the evening times, or I would still be like, if now I feel electricity went off, I'd be like complaining
Yeah.
all the time. That
Do you think
where's my aircon?
we're just so used to convenience now as well? One, that, and two, global warming.
Yeah,
It is hotter
it
now.
is hotter.
But then also we're just so used to just being things are so convenient now.
Yeah,
That everything that's not convenient
both. Yeah.
really bothers us. You know? Growing up, I remember like just taking the bus, like, the school bus, stuff like that. Like, it was hot. It got hot. Or like during PE class when we were outside, like things got hot. Maybe we're just old now. We were younger and things were easier.
Yeah, things were easier, and we had so many like good things to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like meeting our friends or impressing a teacher with like good grades and things like that. So these small
But can
things
we also
didn't
talk
matter.
about the trauma of like exams and things?
Oh my god.
And the academic pressure that was put on us. I wonder what it's like back home now. I'd imagine it's still pretty bad.
Just so many distractions now.
Yeah. But I remember like studying for exams, then knowing the next day like something is due, and like the pressure of that.
Yeah, and not wanting to go to school sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still having to go.
Yeah.
We didn't have like too many extra things that we'd be like celebrating other than like substitution teachers or sometimes they
Or
would
when the substitute teacher was coming in but then they didn't, and you were like, this is great.
This is a good day. Good day I didn't stay at home.
Were you ever a prefect? Because remember how prefects were made to like silence the class?
Oh yeah.
Like a monitor.
Yeah, like you go to a certain different class and do it for the kids. Did you ever do that?
Yes, also that, but also in your own class, like if a teacher was late or whatever, then it was the student's job, that prefect's job, to stand like quiet in the whole class.
So the monitor.
They were, but how lame? Why were they turning us against us?
But it was a good powerful thing. Like I remember becoming monitor during 9th or 10th standard.
Yeah.
And I still really
and you got
it.
drunk with power.
Really
you were like, I'm better than all of you.
I really did. It was fun.
Oh my gosh, so good.
Those were good days.
Did you have assemblies in the morning?
Yeah, and I used to stand right at the back because of my height.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. I love that.
Yeah, so
because I think I was kind of somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you have to do the national anthem every single morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Do they do that still?
I hope so.
And did you have a school song?
No.
We had a school song. It was so funny. All the city school kids would know.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I'm forgetting how it went.
We had like a 45-minute assembly every morning.
Embarrassing was it if you were late to assembly?
Oh yeah, we weren't even allowed, I think.
Yeah.
We had to go.
It was a separate line.
Yeah.
But isn't it funny how school is how you're teaching people how to behave in life eventually? And you're like, okay, you're late, fair, you shouldn't be late. But why is that such a humiliating thing?
Yeah, some teachers were like not having a good day and then they would just take it out on the kids. I remember, a few teachers were always like sort of like almost drunk with power, like you said.
Drunk with power, like these kids are late.
Yeah.
Or even like a big thing for us was like how you were dressed. So if you had nail polish on, oh my god forbid you had nail polish like that, to bus no, could not do that.
Or the hair a certain way.
The hair a certain way.
Yeah,
shoes.
Those were not good things about school. Sometimes, they would traumatize us.
Is it the military? Because it felt like it. It was a bit intense, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I feel like we talk a lot about parenting and how that affects you in your life eventually. But what about schools, man? They traumatized us,
At that point, right? Because they were even like hitting kids and it was okay. And now you can't.
Yeah. I remember when I was younger, I was in Zimbabwe, and like even there, it was such a progressive school, but it was normal to get kind of a little smack if you did something wrong. It wasn't cool.
Yeah,
not cool
why
at all.
wouldn't we like woke? Why wouldn't we like
Why weren't we like
Yeah.
protesting against this?
Yeah, you can't hit us, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think they can now. Like,
They
I don't think
can,
they do
yeah.
it anymore. But I know when we were younger, that was definitely more okay than it is now.
Like if you didn't do your homework, give out your hand. I would put like a big scale on your
Oh my god,
palm.
yeah.
Remember?
But even like
Oh.
mentally, you know, the way that kids were, even just verbally, how you're talking to kids and what you're saying to them,
Yeah, for sure.
and the pressure you're putting on them.
But I felt like verbally, whatever teachers ever said, like, "Oh, we want pin drop silence," or "Is this a fish market award?" La la la. Those were still like okay things.
But
But if you're hitting somebody in front
that's
of
definitely not.
the friends, the
Yeah.
class, that's so humiliating.
That is so humiliating. I don't remember like this being such a big thing, like hitting kids in Pakistan in the school that I was going to. But I remember teachers always singling out kids, you know, and like making them feel a certain way because they had like a certain
Some issues.
yeah, like a short
biases.
attention span, or maybe they had a learning disability which no one, you know,
At that
ever
time, it was a
bothered
thing,
yeah, looking into, and that's horrible. We didn't love school now that we think about it. I loved school when I got into my A levels, when I was like obviously about to graduate.
All right.
Like the last few classes, so good. Because you're
Yeah.
already super
you
senior.
have those favorite phases, right? When you have
Yeah.
good friends, or when you're like just doing good academically, and you're like
Absolutely.
really taking interest in studies. There was
Yeah.
a point when I was like so interested. I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I love."
What was
this.
your favorite subject? Like, what did you love studying?
So at one point, I was really loving science.
Yeah.
And then I was definitely like a moral science also student. I was environmental loving kid, so I was
Yeah.
like into
Megha,
those.
you already know Megha's big on the
Yeah.
environment, even now. It
And
started then.
I'd love it like civic things. Like I was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, I'm gonna be the moral police."
Yeah. The moral police. This is where it started.
So I loved that. And then
Constructs
when we
and
had to like pick subjects, I picked business studies.
Yeah.
I think that was the name of the stream that I picked. So that was interesting as well. That got me into marketing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much to it.
That's so good.
And I had my favorite teacher from that subject as well, but I don't know where she is now.
It's so interesting to think that a lot of what we end up doing has to do with our favorite teachers. For me as well, like when I look back, some of my most favorite teachers are, you know, those were my favorite subjects. So, you know, a person has so much of an impact on you, and I feel like as a teacher, you should not take that lightly.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can.
Mm.
But yeah, it's super cool, isn't it?
Yeah. You know this, I just want to share this one quick thing about
No,
my
don't
class.
be quick. Like,
No,
take your time.
forget it. No,
No.
because I'll be taking names then. Forget it. Or people like
Maybe say A, B,
No.
person A,
We'll
person
cut-
B.
We'll cut this.
Mika, now you're not telling our audience. Our audience what they want
You
to
know
know.
how there were like kids in school in our class who just wanted to be like teacher's pet, or be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I know it.
Yeah.
I know it." It was such a funny story. So a girl would always be like, "Oh yeah, I know the answer to this one." Like teacher would ask, you know, if it was like a GK class. I clearly
Yeah.
remember it was the general knowledge class. And you know how all the books, the general knowledge books, would have answers at the
At the back. Yeah.
So we would always like think that she probably is guessing. Obviously, she knows she can see it if
Yeah.
she really knows everything. Why
Mhm.
does she not know for every subject?
Yeah.
Right. So one day, one of the classes, the teacher was like, "Okay, today I'll make you answer it."
Yeah.
So she got the student to come up and answer, and she obviously answered what was on the back of the book.
Yeah.
But it was the wrong thing, and the teacher obviously knew, so she was being
Oh
very
my
smart about it.
god.
And the time she like called her out that, so today we know that you've been
पीछे
lying.
में पढ़ा है ना बुक के पीछे लिखा हुआ है.
So she was like embarrassed in front of
Oh,
everybody, which was
no.
quite sad, but also
That's
like,
so
girl,
sad.
stop.
Girl, stop, man. But I feel like the teacher should have kind of taken her separately and like told her. But yeah, teachers used to pull that shit. Not okay. Like, that's not okay at all. But also pretty funny.
Yeah.
Say, I would like to like talk about this a little bit from a kid's perspective, and from like a perspective of someone that's just trying to like do the best that they can. The first thing that school does is it tells you to be that kid, right? To be the best, to know what the answer is, and you're like applauded for it. But then the other part of that is if you're working smart and not hard, which is now something we're trying to learn, Megha. Is we're like, why are we always working so hard? We should just be able to work smart, because school conditioned it. Like, it's conditioned us to work hard. So sometimes when we know the answer, we're like, no, but this is too easy. I need to go and like find.
Yeah, but it's right at the back of the book. It's not honest either, because the school is also teaching us to be honest, right?
Yeah, but did they say don't read the back of the book and the answer is there? I feel like I'm shocked that like more kids weren't reading the back of the book. You know what I mean?
True. Why wasn't I doing that?
Because why I say this? Because I remember growing up and like, for example, if we were in a class and we were making a bit of noise, or we were interacting about the topic or something or the other, and we were actually learning during this process, oftentimes a teacher, this wouldn't be an example of a good teacher, would be like, you guys are having too much fun, or you're like, not, you're being too loud. But if you're learning, you're learning.
Yeah.
And so it's like we're made to be a certain way. So if it only fits that certain construct, then you're okay. But if you kind of, you know, steer anywhere away from that one singular line, then that's not okay. And that makes me wonder. But yeah, I mean, it's not that serious.
Yeah, but it's also about the discipline, right?
Yeah.
School is all about disciplining you. So if you are being sort of too cunning for the environment you're in, you're ultimately a student right now.
Yeah.
If you're being too cunning and you're lying to the teacher's going to call you out.
Yeah, lying to a teacher is obviously not cool. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting to see like how a lot of people who were acting like different or just didn't fit the mold perfectly are now in life doing fine.
Yeah.
In fact better, right?
Yeah. Because they found the easiest.
And some of us, like I was such a like, you know, front bencher, good student, this, that, whatever. And as an adult, I struggle to break free of that now. You know, that idea that I have to be a certain way with, because that's what being a good person means, or that's what being like a good professional means, or this is how I have to be in a job, or whatever, you know? Or even with people, like I'm such a people pleaser. School taught me that.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's also part of your personality. I mean,
true.
School can teach you only that much, but what you pick on, what you latch on is what you are, right?
That's very true, actually.
You cannot be that person, even if your school was like, yeah, be that person.
Like me and Timur turned out so different. Even my siblings and I turned out so different, you know? We all have, you're right. Yeah.
It's your personality.
Yeah. You are a people pleaser inherently, basically.
I mean, it keeps people happy. You make people happy. Like, that's what's with Ryan as well. You know, I keep telling him that you are such a sweetheart. Like, I cannot be that person. I will tell people what it is, and sometimes it hurts people, and I should mince my words. But it's not because of my school.
Yeah. But we're all so layered, and I think a lot, like all the little things add to how we eventually end up being in life, right? Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
This topic can go on forever and ever, right? There's so many things. We didn't go through our list, but it's okay.
It's 33 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we went over time, as we normally do. And we had a huge list to go through, which we haven't. But that's okay.
Yeah, but we had really lots of fun. And I hope you guys also enjoyed what we were talking about and sort of resonate with it and felt that, we're almost talking about your childhood if you're from Pakistan or India or from any other part of the world.
And if you're a 90s kid, really, you know, like tell us, we obviously love talking to you guys. Tell us what your favorite part of your childhood was, and if there's any topics that you want us to discuss. Like there's so much for us to talk about. Yeah. It really never ends.
90s world, from TV shows. Remember how newspapers had like the schedule of what is coming on TV?
Oh my god, yes. But that also, did you have a favorite part of the newspaper?
Oh yeah.
There was all these parts, and then the end was like, I think the fashion page. There was a sports page.
What's happening in the fashion world.
Yes.
And then like the comic and Sudoku crossword.
Yes. That was the funnest. The games
and like a little
page.
drawing thing as well, like you could draw. Remember?
Yeah.
Did you have that?
I think we did.
Oh, that was fun. That was
so good. Fun. But anyways, thanks for hanging out with us while we chatted about our childhoods, and we'll be back hopefully sooner rather than later.
We won't take as long a break, and I'm really sorry for you.
No, but we loved hanging out with you today. Yes. Thanks guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.